You are now listening to the Building Her Dream podcast, where we have inspiring conversations with introverted women entrepreneurs who are building their dream lives and businesses on their own terms. Hosted by business operations strategist, author, and the founder of Building Her Dream, Shayla Burton. To learn more about this podcast and our magazine, visit www.buildingherdream.com. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the Building Her Dream podcast. I'm your host and lifelong introvert, Shayla Burton, and I'm so excited to chat with today's guest. She is Eunah Mwaniki, and a virtual assistant, a social media manager, really your business best friend, all the way from Nairobi, Kenya. Hello, Eunah. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Shayla. Thank you for having me.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm glad to chat with you today. Eunah is actually a member of, or a team member of Building Her Dream. So she's been assisting me behind the scenes. And so I'm really excited to chat with her today and talk about more of the work that she does. So, Eunah, as you know, I always like to start off this podcast with a fun question. So, if you could wake up tomorrow and have your perfect dream life, what would that look like for you?
That's a little bit simple. My perfect dream life would be waking up, um, not having to work so much, and being in a position to help as much as I can, especially from the family, going up, my family, my friends,
Yeah.
and maybe the people around me that I can extend a hand. Yeah, I think my life will just be simple. Staying at home definitely, and helping out as much as I can.
Okay, that makes sense. So, you said you don't want to work a lot. So, how often would you work?
Honestly, when I feel like working,
Okay, I get that. Same.
honestly, when I feel like working, I can work. And when I don't feel like working, I don't have to feel guilty because I don't want to work. That will be
Right.
a perfect life.
Yeah, that would be the dream to just, decide, do I feel like working today? No? Okay.
No.
Or yeah, do some work, do a little work if I feel like it. Yeah, I think that would be great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and the work that you do?
Yeah. Um, I think my story is short.
Okay.
My name is Eunah. I am virtual assistant, but leaning more on the social media side. So to be specific, I'm a social media manager, and I help people build brands online, authentic brands online, because I believe in authenticity really, really, really much. So yeah, I'm the fifth born in a family of six in Nairobi, Kenya. Yeah, I started my journey as a virtual assistant when I was in campus. Originally, it was just to survive the broke life of campus.
Yeah.
But later on, it grew. I got to meet really amazing people. I got to do the work that I enjoy doing at home, which is like
Mm.
the highlight of my days. And yeah, right now I'm a full-time social media manager in a virtual assistant. So I have some few clients doing basic virtual assistant tasks, but mostly I'm a social media manager.
Okay, okay. Very exciting. So we'll talk a little bit more about what you do a little bit later. I'm wondering, growing up, when did you first realize that you were an introvert?
Um, I think I'd say maybe in another life, I was not supposed to be an introvert, just maybe.
Okay.
Because um, my introversion started when I was young. My mom was a really, really, really strict parent, like
Mm.
very strict. So I was not so much allowed to interact with people a lot, just
Mm.
limited time, which I think that's how my introversion built up to where it is right now. So yeah, I started out that way. I was not. I am the kid in the neighborhood who always stayed at home, helping my
Mm.
mom with house chores, and maybe get out to interact for like 30 minutes, and then I'm called back home. So
Mm.
yeah, that was my journey. And then I came to know I'm an introvert when I was in high school. So most of my friends were introverts, especially there was this one friend that I had. She was really, really introverted. And so I think out of assimilation, I also became an introvert. It my character is like a product of things building up. So my
Mhm.
mom, my friends, my work right now, and then that's who I am right now.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So did you have like a lot of friends in, growing up in the neighborhood or in school?
I knew a lot of people. I can't say I had a lot of friends. I knew a lot of
Oh,
people. I
okay.
don't trust people so much. So, no, we were not friends. Don't cut me off when you see this video, please. But we knew each other. We interacted. We played when I was young. But
Yeah.
my close circle is always very, very tight. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's always very tight. And that's why most of my friends know that being in my small inner circle is one
Yeah.
thing, it's hard. And when you're there, please don't mess up. We
Right.
don't have the space for messing up.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So you said that you spent a lot of time, at home. So what did you do to like for fun, or did you have any hobbies growing up? Like what did you do when you were at home other than like helping your mom?
Watching Barbie.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, I was a really big fan of animations, and I had a whole collection of Barbie movies, or rather Barbie cartoons. And I think that was the best part of my childhood, watching those animations.
Mm.
And what else? I can't remember most of them, but I think that
Yeah.
would be one of them. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I definitely watched a lot of TV growing up. I also like to read a lot, so I would do that as well.
Yeah, I remember my first book to read, other than of course, the academic books, was a novel I was given by my brother. I think it was a
Mm.
passed down novel. So I don't know if in most cultures that's the case, but in Kenya and in most of our culture is most of the things are passed down. So if there is
Mm.
this really quality hoodie, it's passed down to the other siblings. If there is this book, it's passed down to the other siblings. So this book in specific one was passed down to me, and it was really exciting. I remember that was the first time I really spent a lot of time reading, and since then, I've always loved reading. And I can't remember how old I was, but if I'm right, I was around 12,
Okay.
13. Yeah, that was the time I started reading my first novel. And since then, I've been a fan of mostly fictional, so that it can get me into another world of impossibilities. But yeah,
Okay. Okay, very cool. Yeah. So, you stated that you started your business, your as a virtual assistant when you were in college. How did you even hear about becoming a virtual assistant?
TikTok. I
Oh,
was scrolling
okay.
through TikTok and I saw some few TikTok videos talking about virtual assistants. And to be honest, I started it out thinking it was as easy as the TikTok girlies were saying it.
Hmm.
Well, long story short, it's a full-time job. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Wow. So you saw it on TikTok and it looked like it would be like an easy business to start. And so you said, oh, let me try it out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember when I was telling my friends about the opportunity, I was like, this is very easy. I just have to work 2 hours in a day, and then I can charge $50 or $60 per hour. Anyway, reality and expectations are two very different things.
Yeah, yeah. People always, talk about like the easy parts of starting a business, or they show the rewarding parts, but they don't talk about like the challenges and the struggles that you face, like trying to run your own business and start your own business. What were some of the initial challenges that you faced when you decided to become a virtual assistant?
I think the first one was outreach,
Mm,
reaching out to people. So again, from what the TikTok girls used to say, you just have to create content and then have a portfolio, and then your clients will come to you. And of course, we all know that's not true. If you still
right.
believe that's true, you have a long journey. But yeah, so later on, when I came to realize that I have to do outreach, yeah, I think it was the hardest part. Like, I don't understand how I can reach out to someone, and it was just something out of this world for me.
Hey, it's Shayla here. I just wanted to interrupt this episode really quickly to let you know that if you're looking to connect with like-minded, introverted women in a safe space, then you should join our virtual networking events. The next upcoming dates are July 16th and August 6th. To register, visit buildingherdream.com/events.
Yeah, the first challenge was outreach, and the second one I think would be self-confidence, being confident in what you're doing, and also charging what you're comfortable with. So, but I later on came to realize, okay, let me first start with being confident in yourself. So, being confident in yourself, which is closely tied to you charging for your services. There, as much as people would say that you just have to sit down and say it in front of a mirror until you believe it, or do all these other techniques that people have, I came and realized if you are if you're new in entrepreneurship, whatever you're doing is new, it's okay to start somewhere and then grow your rates as you go, because you are as confident as the results that you have. You are as expensive as the results that you have. So if it's possible for you, just lower your rates, get your experience, and then your confidence will come from the experience, and the rates will obviously grow from the confidence and the experience that you have. So that, yeah, those were one of the challenges that I experienced and how I handled.
Yeah, those two challenges are really typical for not even introverts, but just business owners in general. Um, Outreach, any type of marketing is a struggle when you don't have that skill set. And it's definitely a challenge that I faced as well because I just like to be behind the scenes doing work, but we've we got to market our business. People have to know that we exist. And sometimes that means reaching out to people, having those conversations and building relationships with people. And so that's one of the reasons why I started our monthly networking events for introvert women, so that we can connect with each other in more of a comfortable environment and talk about the work that we do, because it's definitely a challenge that I've heard many introvert women that I've talked to say that they have experienced as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and the best part is you just need to give someone a push. So
Mhm.
the networking events are really good to just give those women the first step, giving them a
Yeah.
push towards the right direction. So once you're comfortable talking about what you're doing or anything that you're comfortable with or that you want to market, and you're able to talk to it to like 3, 4, 5, 10 women, then by that
Mhm.
time you're comfortable to talk about it in front of everyone. So yeah,
Right.
one of the things that I really see from the networking events that we hold is that you just give someone a push and they're able to fly.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And then it also helps, I think, with the self-confidence as well. It's for some of us, it's really hard to talk about the work that we're doing, and I don't know what it is for me. But like I know that I'm doing great work, but it's a struggle for me to talk about it. I don't know if it's because I'm not sure what it is. I think it's maybe no matter like how many years I have of experience and how many people and clients that I've successfully worked with, it's that like imposter syndrome maybe creeping up in there. I'm not sure. But
You see, it's funny, it's ironic that um the season when you think you're not doing enough or when you think you're
Mhm.
not doing anything that you're supposed to be doing is when everyone around you sees you are excelling. I
Yeah.
can't I can't really relate the two, but that's how it happens. And so I've
Hmm.
come to the realization that imposter syndrome will never end. You will all, as long as you're an entrepreneur, they are sisters. Entrepreneurship and imposter syndrome, they are twin sisters. They'll always walk side by side. So the only thing you can do is manage it, but don't expect it to end. However good you are, especially if you're an introvert and you're a woman, it will always just find a way to creep into your mind. So just know how to manage it.
Yeah, you might be right. I think it's, we're always so hypercritical of ourselves. And yeah, so maybe that's the issue. Like I feel, like you said, I'm not doing enough. I could be doing more, but someone else sees me and think that I'm doing amazing. So I feel like I just need to listen to other people and not listen to myself.
Yeah, yeah, very true. Also, writing down your goals really helps. So I have this thing I do, not I do, I did. So
Hmm.
I'm not one to really write down a lot of the things that I'm doing. The people say write down your goals. I've tried. I just don't know how people write down their goals. But there was this one
Hmm.
time in 2022, I think. So I watched this video and the lady, it was a YouTube video, and then she said, write down everything that you'd want to accomplish by this time next year. So I think she was talking about this hype that's around New Year. People, everyone is like, it's New Year. I need to set new goals. I need to set new achievements, all those things. So she was like, no, don't go with the new year. Your new year can be today. So sit down, write everything that you want to accomplish by next year, same time. And I was like, you know what? Why not? At this time, I was in my campus hostel, definitely broke. not knowing what you want out of your life. But then I was
Yeah.
like, okay, let me write it down. And so I wrote down some few things. And believe you me, by the next year, around the same time, I can't really say the dates are the same, but maybe around the same time, most of the things that I wrote had come true.
Oh,
So I
wow.
think this also helps you clap for yourself. Like it helps you acknowledge your efforts because
Yeah.
unless you have something that gives you a flashback of where you came from, as introverted women, we will never acknowledge that we are growing. We will never, we are always like, if I just did this more, if I just did this more, if I just could do this. But sometimes write down what you want to achieve. When you achieve it, it will you'd be comfortable clapping for yourself and congratulating yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I've heard, other people mention something kind of similar about pretty much just writing down what you want. And then, you know, look at that list a year later and see how much you've accomplished. So there's definitely something to that. And so I'll have to give that a try. So what's something that you are really proud of that has happened in your business so far?
Um, I think honing my authenticity in my business,
Hmm.
that is something that I'm always proud of because just like every other online business owner, it's very easy for you to fake it till you make it. It's very easy
Hmm.
for you to fake the things that you want to achieve and show people that you have achieved them. Maybe it works for some people. Some call it manifesting. I don't know what others call it. But for me, my greatest achievement, or rather my greatest the thing that I'm really proud of is that I have never lied about where I am or what I'm doing or the level that I am in. So when you get it, you might get very high paying clients, and it's easy for you to say, I've even worked with better clients than you. And it's okay, the client may not notice it, but deep down, something will just sell you out. I
Yeah.
think that's my worst fear. Something might just sell me out, and the client will think, so you lied about this, so you might lie about everything else. Yeah, I think that is my greatest achievement. Also,
Hmm.
being able to grow to a point that I can be able to move out. So I recently moved out to my own apartment, which is
Oh, wow.
really, really a big thing to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it also shows me that maybe I am mature enough, just maybe.
Maybe you
So
are
yeah,
an adult.
yeah.
Hmm, that's awesome. Well, congratulations on that. That definitely is a big accomplishment to uh earn a living on your own business, not working for someone else, and then be able to get your first place. Like that's an amazing accomplishment. So good for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So we kind of talked about like or have we talked about stepping outside of your comfort zone? Like how do you handle situations that require you to step outside of your comfort zone, like maybe pitching to potential clients or just being more public facing? Like, how do you do it?
You do it scared.
Yeah.
That is the short form answer. You just do it scared. Also, there is this saying, even the toughest dog was once a puppy. So
Mm.
even if you want to be the best, because it's easy for you to tell yourself, okay, I will hold off from reaching out or from doing ABC until I am an expert at it. But you'll probably never be an expert until you try, because there are some things only experience can teach you. So for
Mm.
me, what has worked for me is just doing it anyway. Do it
Yeah.
anyway. You will fail the first two, three, four times, even 10 times. But at the end of the day, you will get it right. There was this email, was it an email or a video I watched? The person was saying, if you are told today, whatever you want to start, um, you're given an assurity that you're going to succeed. So if it's a new business, you're told 100% you're going to succeed. But you have to fail 10 times for you to succeed. What will you
Mm.
do? And people were giving different answers, but then someone said, I will start immediately so that I can fail the 10 times as soon as possible and then succeed. So I
Yes.
think that is something that really stuck in my mind. So until today, I'm like, if I have to fail 10 times so that I can succeed, let me fail as soon as possible so that I can succeed as soon as possible.
Right. Right. Yeah, I love that. I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, how many times have I failed? Because I feel like it's probably been about 20 times at this point. So
They
I
didn't
would
give
like
you
to
the right
just see.
template.
Right, right. I just want to see success from now on. Every single thing that I do because yeah, I've failed enough.
Yeah, but don't worry. Maybe it's 10, maybe it's 20, maybe it's 50, but at the end of the day, you'll still succeed.
Yeah. So how do you think, or maybe it doesn't affect you, but does do you think that being an introvert affects the way that you run your business? And if so, how?
I think let me see, it does affect how I run my business, but in a good way.
Okay.
Because one of the things about being an introvert is that you always want to go deeper. So if it's a conversation, you want to go deeper. You're not okay with anything surface. So that really helps, especially in my field of work, because when you want to help a brand, you always want to dig deeper. Most people are okay with the surface. So what's your mission? What's your goal? And they're okay with all that. For me, I'd want to go deeper. Why did you start it? How did you start it? What happened? So yeah, I think that is something that really has really helped my business to grow, because every person that I'm in a meeting with, or maybe reaching out and a sales call, anything of the sort, the way you approach their brand, the way you approach their business, it speaks a lot about you to them. It shows that you are not you really want to understand what they're doing and why they're doing it. So yeah, that has really helped. And also the fact that I enjoy staying at home, I enjoy staying at home alone and interacting with people online.
Mm.
It has also helped me learn a lot. So yeah, I think that has really helped. Being an introvert has really helped me, because otherwise I would be out there doing I don't know what, and I wouldn't have the time to do the research, to upskill as I do. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that does make sense about how we do like to go deeper. We are really great listeners, and so that's really helpful, and especially for like the type of work that you do as well. So yeah, I think a lot of times people see being an introvert as a negative, like we are super quiet, we don't want to be around people, we just want to be alone 24/7, but that's not the case, and that we do have some really great skill sets that are an asset in the business world.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Especially the great listening skills. I think though, if I was to talk to entrepreneurs, like many entrepreneurs in one place, I'd tell them, if you're looking for to hire, just go for someone who listens. Like they
Yes.
seriously listen to what you're saying. And
Mhm.
of course, that means just go for an introvert.
Right, right. Yeah. Hmm. So, our July issue of Building Her Dream magazine, the theme is Embrace the Pause, Finding Success in Work, in Rest and Play. And the reason we chose this theme is, of course, it's summertime. Like in a lot of places, it's really good weather, and this is the time when a lot of people take vacations and spend time with their family because they're out of school. However, us entrepreneurs, we're working 24/7. We often aren't taking time off, and we're not, and that's like really bad. Like we're not building businesses to just work 24/7. Like who wants to do that? Most of us, when we started our business, we thought we were going to have, freedom, time freedom, be able to work when we want and when we don't, and get a lot of time to relax, but that's not the case. But I feel like we should make it a case. And so my question to you is, um, like how often do you take time off to rest and not work?
To be honest, I don't know if this will work for people who have 9 to 5 or they have a boss over them who is micromanaging their time. But for us who don't have, for me, if my mind is not up for the task, I will not do it. I
Mm,
just will not do it. So what I do to compensate is that when I am active, I'm seriously active. Like I try to do as much as I can with that active period that I have.
mm-hmm,
But when your mind is not up for the task, when you just feel tired, just take the break. Take a break and rest. Because at the end of the day, you're not helping anyone by producing average output. Because when you're tired, you will produce average output. So just take some time and rest and come back refreshed. Also, have a specific day when you're totally free. So for me, it's on Sundays. I try not to work on Sundays as much as possible. I
mm,
also try to limit my working time to almost resemble a 9 to 5, but in my own terms. So instead of 9 to 5, I might work 12 to 7 p.m. or I might
mm,
work 1 to 9 p.m. Just have a time period for when you're working so that your mind also takes some rest. In short, just take
yeah,
some rest. And I think um yeah, remember you're not helping anyone by producing average output. So when you're tired, you don't have to.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I try not to work on the weekends, and then also I try to take Fridays off as much as I can as well. Having that extra day is kind of nice. So, what do you do to recharge your energy? Like, how do you recharge your energy?
I watch a movie. I
Okay.
either watch a movie, um mostly the movies that I'm not so proud to say in public, movies that
Okay.
don't need my mind to operate when I'm watching.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So things that I just have to sit down and maybe I'm just laughing all through or just
Yeah.
watching. Yeah, that is the best for me. Or anything that does not require my mind to work. Scrolling through
Right.
TikTok, watching simple movies, or just sleeping. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. I tell that to people all the time. Like sometimes I just want to watch something that doesn't require thinking, so it doesn't need to have a plot or any type of twist. Like it could just be something really silly that will make me laugh. Now I don't it probably wouldn't be something that I would pay to watch in a theater, but at home, yeah, I'll love a simple movie that just makes me laugh. Or a TV show. That's how I recharge as well. Just laying on my couch watching something is what I do. Now, what do
Yeah,
you do? Oh, I was just gonna ask, what do you do to have like actual fun? Like when you want to have fun, what do you do?
I hang out with my friends. So
Oh,
when I mentioned that I have a very small circle, inner circle, they are small, but they are really close to my heart. So
okay.
anytime I want to have fun, those are the first people I'll think about. Because, yeah, you see, the good thing about having a small group and a small tight group is that they already know you. They know your awkwardness, they know your weirdness, they know everything about you basically. So when you're
Yeah.
hanging out with them, you don't have to fake who you are. You don't have to pretend you're okay with some things that you're not okay with. Yeah, I think that is the best. That is how I have fun. I just love
Okay.
hanging out with my friends.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, I do that pretty often too. I have like uh, a lot of my friends are business owners, and so for them, we have to put our time together like on the calendar.
Yeah.
And so we make sure we schedule something in at least once a month. But yeah, I typically like to hang out with friends, family. We're usually going to get something to eat. So which is like a kind of a lazy fun outing, but I love going to a restaurant um and just chatting with my friends.
I also think that going to get something to eat is just it's an underrated type of fun because I don't know, there is just something about eating together that is just fun, especially when you're going to eat barbecue.
Mhm.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. Okay. So, what advice would you give to someone who is, just starting their business?
Don't be afraid to fail. Just like the example we said, if you have to fail 10 times for you to get it right, start failing as soon as possible. So that is the advice I think I'd give anyone. Just don't be afraid to fail. No one is watching you too much to care so much about what you're doing. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, good advice. Good advice. Well, Una, it has been really great chatting with you. Before we go, I wanted to give you an opportunity to, if there's anything you want to share with our audience, you could do that. Or if you just want to tell us where we can find more information about you, you can absolutely do that now.
You can find me on my Instagram page. I think that's my most active platform, or on my email. So my Instagram, I go by Eunah the VA, Eunah full, full stop, the underscore VA. The abbreviations are there because most people are pronouncing the VA as one word. So that's it, Eunah dot the underscore VA. Or you can reach me on my email, eunahtheva@gmail.com.
Okay, wonderful. So we'll check you out on social media. Thank you so much for joining me today, Una.
Thank you for having me. It's fun being on this side because I'm always on the other side editing, but it's fun.
Yes, awesome. And thank you to our audience for listening.